perhaps you can clarify and potentially amend your position. Why are we only talking about race, right? When you talk about expanding the diversity, expanding the pool of talent, okay, that's what you're saying. But DEI, and you also seem to be on board with this. You're saying, well, you don't care what the DEI advocates say, but you seem to agree strongly with the DEI purists and ideologues that expanding the talent pool means specifically looking at racial groups, which in my opinion, that is not.
No, you still got to hire the most talented person. It's not, so you can expand racial groups, you can expand whatever, right? When you expand your net, you're always looking for the most talented people. Because I think what you're confused is, gender is 50%, right? Give or take. White people are 70+% of the workforce. They're there. Yeah. So what you're suggesting is, let's go find more white people. They're not hard to find everywhere, right? Now, if there was a situation where, hey, we've got this company, we just don't have enough white people, and I think that's hurting us, then it would be like, okay, let's go to an all-white university and find more qualified applicants and see if they're qualified to get jobs. Great. If that's the circumstances, I don't care. Companies will make their own decisions on how they do that and what they need.
Okay, but why are you focusing, when you say, again, expanding the talent pool, why are you focusing on racial diversity and not other kinds of diversity?
They're the minorities. Okay. They are in the minority. They're not, it's like pick whatever demographic. They are in the minority. The people in the majority are everywhere. I'm white, right? I'm a dude. So I'm in one representation, I'm 70 whatever percent of the workforce. In another representation, I'm 50%. You don't have to look hard to find people who look like me, right? And so that's the underpinning of the logic.
So you're saying, are you implicitly admitting that, and for yourself or for other companies, that by having these racial pledges, they're saying, or maybe you're saying, that you haven't done a good job in trying to find talent from diverse backgrounds?
Depends on the company.
Okay. How about for yourself?
So if I'm a CEO of a company and I say, you know what? I look around and I only see people who look like me, and I want more diversity of opinion and thought. Okay, that's fair, because you may sell to a demographic.
That's not what DEI is, but okay.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's the basis.
I agree with that. Everyone agrees with that, but that's not what DEI is.
Why are you getting such agita about all of this? Because the reality is that's how CEOs make decisions.
Diversity of race is not diversity of opinion, and if you think that, that's actually a very racist opinion to have.
No, okay, so diversity of race doesn't for sure say you're getting diversity of opinion, right? But you may be getting diversity of experience based on what you're looking for, right? Now, if it doesn't potentially, right? But that's part of running a company. Everything's potentially. Okay. Everything potentially can impact your outcomes and your net numbers potentially. And as CEO, your job is to evaluate all the potentialities and make a determination what's best for your company. Now, potentially, you might think you need to virtue signal. You might say, hey, wear MAGA hats all you want. Our company we buy MAGA hats and we put them everywhere on every desk in our company. Okay, if that's what you want to do, great. More power to you. I don't care. MAGA is not a protected. I don't care. Companies make their own decisions. That's part of being a CEO. That's part of being an entrepreneur. That's part of the process.
What you just said there about looking around your office and you want more diversity of opinion or diversity of experience, even, race is not a good proxy for opinion or experience.
Well, it depends on what it is you're looking for. But you still, no matter whatever that opinion is I'm looking for, I'm not going to limit it to a specific race, right?
That's what these companies said.
What's that?
These companies, Starbucks, Microsoft, United Airlines, they didn't say we want people of different persuasions on politics and spirituality and science. And they didn't say that. They said we want to double our black workforce. We want more people of a certain skin color. That's what they said. Not what you're saying.
It's up to them to say what they want. This is a free country. They can do it the right way. They can do it the wrong way. It's not me to judge. I can pass my opinion. I don't care what they say. I care what they do. I care that they don't hire illegally, that they don't preference white people or black people or Hispanic or Asian, that they hire the most talented person. But what you're missing in all this, that's not the hard part. I mean, let me rephrase that. What you're missing in all this is that for 99% of positions, finding the most qualified person is very nebulous. It's very subjective. And so that's the hard part in all of this. The hard, all the rest is mishigas, right? The hard part is how do you make a determination that one secretary is more qualified than another, that one college graduate that wants to come into a sales training or be an apprentice, for whatever is more qualified than another. That's hard. That's really, really hard.
Yeah.
That gets you down to a coin flip in a lot of cases. And that's the hard part for companies, right? Where you have an argument is, do companies, when it's a coin flip in terms of qualifications, do they do what Elon Musk said and said, if it's a toss-up, I'll give it to the person of color, right? That's hard. And companies that, that's probably the hardest decision in dealing with all of this. And you just have to dig. We just tried to dig deeper to try to find a point of differentiation for each employee or each candidate before we made them an employee.
So are you denying that over the past few years, and I mean, we can talk anecdotally, you're talking about some kind of data here, which we can get into, but are you denying that in the last few years, especially in the wake of George Floyd and the rise of Black Lives Matter, that if you are a black individual or other person of color or other marginalized community member and you're qualified for a particular position, that you are not positively advantaged? Right, because what many CEOs and companies, what many CEOs and listen, hey, hold on. What many CEOs and companies have said is that we want black talent, we want people of minority, quote unquote, underprivileged backgrounds at our companies. Are you doubting that positive advantage has existed for minority people?
You're conflicting yourself. You're saying it's okay to pass a wider net, and so when you recruit more people from more diverse communities, you are going to get more people from different demographics. And that will open the door for finding more qualified people within those demographics. That's what I hear when I hear what you've said.
Okay, I support that. I think everyone supports what you just said.
Yeah, but that's what you said. You might not like the way you said it. You might think it's wrong, but that's effectively what you said. We want more minorities here. How do you get those minorities? What steps do you take? You cast a wider net. And then you look for qualified people, and hopefully, you're going to get more people who are black or whatever demographic you're looking for, or whatever demographic they happen to be is a better way to say it. And so by casting a wider net, when you say those things, that's how you get to that. You get to that destination. It's really straightforward.
Okay, or you might not, or you might get other kinds of diversity, like diversity of opinion or economic background, school background, family background, religious background.
Whatever.
This is my critique of DEI, and I don't understand why you don't get this.
No, you still hire the most qualified person. You still always hire the most qualified person. Now,
but that's not what DEI is about.
Yes, it is. It always
DEI centers on race and gender as a factor.
No. Now, if you want to get into the academic side, where all the academicians talk about this, and you've got, I don't even know all the people's names, and they build all these businesses around it and doing training, great.
Ibrahim Kendi, Robin DeAngelo.
Training that companies use that may or may not, you may or may not agree with, great. But those are different issues. What happens in academia, I've always disagreed with. The fact that what was the University of Michigan spent $20 million on a DEI department, I think that's insane. I think having these huge departments specifically dedicated to DEI in universities is not the best use of their funds, in my opinion. Right.
All right. I'm aware you think this. Yeah.
It's up to them, right? What activists say, I don't give a fuck, right? Because I'm a business guy trying to do what I think is right in supporting my portfolio companies and supporting the companies I run, right? We can only hire the most qualified people, period, end of story.